Time to Unpack talk show. I am your host, Tiffany Singleton. Today, the topic is identity. What is your identity? And how do you determine your identity? We have a special guest today that I am so excited to have share with us. Her name is Stephanie M. Kirkland, the founder of Identity Dynamics and the Me Time Daily Movement.
Yes.
Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So glad to have you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm going to let you tell the audience a little bit about what you do, what your focus is in regards to your businesses.
Okay, well, my name is Stephanie M. Kirkland, and of course, like you said, I am the founder of Identity Dynamics, and my focus is really helping people to discover their unique identity, because when we do that, we can become our best selves, we can empower our lives, and we create effective impact. So that's what I do. I help people develop their identity blueprint so that they can really process the different areas of their life. We focus on 5.
Okay.
So we focus on personal identity, professional identity, physical identity, relational, and spiritual identity.
Okay.
So how do we walk through that with our identity context?
Awesome.
Yes.
So that brings me to the first question. Let's talk about identity. A lot of times when we ask someone, who are you?
Yes.
The first thing we think is to give a role. So let's
Yes.
talk about what is unique identity and what should that really look like?
Well, identity really it's your personality. It's how you show up in the world. It's how you interact. It's your values. It's your character. I mean, everything that makes you who you are and how you engage with the world. So identity covers all of those areas, and we have the ability to impact it, control it, and shape it. Because so many times people go, well, this is just who I am. No. You determine who you are and how you show up in your space. So helping people understand that concept and then know that everything that makes them who they are is how they show up.
So how can someone authentically tap into that identity if they're not really sure how to do that?
Well, it begins with self-awareness. Self-awareness has this beautiful word called metacognition.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes. It means to think about what you're thinking about.
Okay.
And so what people have to understand is we don't have access to our subconscious mind. So we have to do it on purpose through self-awareness, slowing down, paying attention to what you're thinking. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? What does that mean?
Wow.
So that we can really tap into how we're showing up unconsciously. And so the only way to do that is self-awareness, slowing down, being mindful of how you're interacting with people. Who's around you? What do your relationships look like? Who's connected to you? And then really your language, what's coming out of your mouth, paying attention to your language, because all of these are shapers and reflections of what's going in your subconscious mind about what has already been put on autopilot. And see, that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
They think they live in their conscious mind, but really 95% of our show up is on autopilot.
Ooh.
And so we need to tap into finding out what that is because so many things have shaped us. Family,
Yeah.
social norms, trauma. We just talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Experiences, our religion, faith, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, right? Just the circumstances, our work dynamics, class, race, all of these things are shapers. So we have to get to self-awareness to find out the things that are impacting us, especially if we're trying to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so when we say, well, Stephanie, who are you? What would your response be? Just to give us an example of what that looks like when we describe our identity.
I am a life changer.
Ooh.
I make sure that things move in excellence and move forward.
Yeah.
I have the ability to create climate change in the lives of people.
I love
You
it.
see what I'm saying?
I love it.
So they're describers, they're
I love
adjectives,
it.
things that, people call me the identity shaper.
Yes.
Right? Because I help people shape their dynamic and how they show up.
Gotcha.
So our words, our language, they're pretty much adjectives. What are describers of you? I tell people all the time, I wish we could go to a conference and everybody, you know how they say, well, who is you? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
And I said, I just want to give everybody cards who've gone through my class and they just read off their describers,
Ooh.
right? And no one say, you can't say that you're a mom. can't say that you're a wife. You can't say that you're single. You can't say your sister, your friend. You can't say any of that.
Right.
I just want you to describe yourself, because in that description, I know how you impact me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
And I know in most cases, probably when you ask somebody that, they're probably like, well, I don't know what that would be without those things.
Right. And so I do this test. It's a test that was done by a man named Shapiro. They're called calling cards.
Okay.
And so you look at the different dynamics of your space, whether you're conventional, an innovator, entrepreneur, whatever that is. And so under these calling cards are describers. So it helps people get an understanding of how they show up. So then they're able to circle the things that represent them so that they can have language. And that's the biggest challenge to identity. What is the language that helps us walk into understanding who we are and what that means to our show up? So I love doing that activity, and that helps people with language.
Wow. And I know in a lot of your training and coaching, you teach people how to function effectively in the marketplace.
Yes.
To come out into the marketplace. But let's talk about, how can we function if we don't really know who we are and what we're bringing?
You'll end up doing what people and society, the norm or the work or the society has used as your identifier. So you'll end up just conforming and assimilating. That's a nice marketplace word.
Yes.
You'll just assimilate to the norms of the culture because you don't know who you are and you don't know how to show up. And so the exercise and the understanding of authentic self is huge, right?
Yeah.
Even in Christian circles, we like to say, I am a royal priesthood, a chosen generation.
Right.
But if you think about those describers, those are group describers. But who are you?
Oh, okay.
We're all royal.
Yes.
We're all. But God, what is specific about
me?
you
Yes.
that now I can use to impact and create change in the world?
Yes.
So it's just bringing it down to a smaller context and knowing who you are.
Wow. And so when we talk about deliverance and the delivery in the marketplace and knowing clarity of vision, right?
Yeah.
So also functioning in the marketplace, we have to have a clarity of what our purpose is.
Yes.
And our intent, and also our people groups.
Yes.
How does identity tie to identifying and functioning in those things?
Because your identity determines those things.
Ooh, does it?
Yes, because if you don't know who you are, then you'll end up falling into community with people who are connected to who you assume yourself to be. So anything that's going on around you, whether it's group, whether it's relationships, whether purpose, if you don't know who you are, you can fall into the conversation of what other people have said about you or the narrative of your family, what they think about you being a woman, what they think about you being a Black woman. I mean, you see what I'm saying? All of those describers can be shaped by other people other than you if you're not mindful.
Yes.
So we have to just make sure that we're doing that work because it's huge.
Yeah.
We have to do the work of discovering our unique, and that's our job, so that we can become our best selves and show up the way we want to.
Yeah, that's good. So if we don't know who we are, I can assume that the danger would be that we'll be moving with every wind that blows us when it comes to purpose.
Yes.
We'll keep switching what we think we're called to do, and we'll never have a definite path
Yes.
as to where we're going.
And then we'll see purpose as what we do and not who we are. I'm going to say that again.
Okay.
We'll see purpose as what we do and not who we are. Purpose is what is the message your life is called to speak.
Ooh,
and what you do is the conduit to get it done.
yes.
That's the difference. So you'll see people say, what is my purpose? No, really the question is, what is your message, right? Because your message can be different things. Like for me, my message of identity can be done through a teacher.
Right.
I can use my message of identity as a counselor. I can use my message of identity as a minister, right? Purpose is our message. What is the message your life is called to speak? And then those things that you do become conduits for that message. So it keeps you from being locked in. It keeps you from thinking that you can only do one thing. When the truth of the matter is your message probably flows through different conduits. And then you're able to move with the wind of Holy Spirit. Then you'll be able to shift and change and not think that you're losing something or you don't have something that you need to move forward. You're more open to be more and to tap into your greatness, which is huge.
Wow. So let's use an example for those that may be like, okay, well, what does that really look like? So I know in one of your other teachings, you used a salesperson as an example.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take somebody that's selling purses.
Okay.
And what does that look like as far as focusing on the message and not the product?
Because the message could be being comfortable with yourself. Let's just say her message is confidence.
Okay.
And so now she can use her sales to help build women's confidence, but she's just using the purse as the conduit in order to minister and speak life to women. You see what I'm saying? So, girl, you know that purse look good.
Yeah.
Girl, stick that leg out. Did you see that color? Girl. And she's like, yes, I look so good, right?
Yeah.
So really her ministry to that woman was not the purse.
Got it.
It was building her confidence.
Absolutely.
And the purse became the door.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's good. So that also goes back to also it's something that you always teach is that you attract who you are.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And that hurts. That really hurts because we don't understand brain work. The way our brains work, we have something in the back of our brains called the reticular activating system. And its job, it's just it's like this big and it sits in the back of your head. And its job is to remove any kind of information that goes contrary, now here's the key, to your beliefs.
Okay. Wow.
So whatever your beliefs that you hold, your reticular comes into alignment with that.
Wow.
And it only allows in your space that which aligns with your truth. So whatever your truth is, that's why it's just so important for us to be mindful of our language, be mindful what we hold to be true, because then your brain comes into concert and says, this is what she believes, so I will make sure that those are the things that's brought into her space, the things that she pays attention to. Great example is a car. I know this has happened to everybody, right? You're driving down the street and you see this car, you be like, yes, that's my car. I want that next. I want that color and the interior. And you get so excited and you've accepted that that's your next car, right? And then the next day, every time you turn around, what do you see? You see that car. You're like, wait a minute. I thought that was only... What? Why? Because your reticular says, oh, that's what she wants.
Gotcha.
I will make sure that she sees it every time she gets a chance because your brain's job is to come into support. With what you believe to be true. Huge.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is it's important to live in your truth.
Yes.
And be authentically accepting of who you are and who you're called to be.
Yes.
And not trying to be what somebody else said you should be.
You cannot, because now you're living their truth. Even how people approach you, things that people want from you. When you do not know who you are, if you don't have your unique identity and understanding, if you don't know your truth, then you're swayed by other people's perception of you.
All the time.
And then you become what they want you to be and not who you are. So then think about this through purpose. So then when I become everything everybody else needs me to be, they might need me to be direct. But because they have taught me to always be soft, the directness they will not get from me. So then I have not done the calling that is supposed to be on my space for that person's life because I am conforming to their desire of me instead of my own. So the people that are called to my light can't see me because now I've done it for so long, being everything everybody else wanted instead of who my assignment and who I am supposed to show up as. Yeah.
Okay. So that leads to my next question. How do you show up?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Showing up is making a decision. You don't look for who you are. You decide. And so many people say, I need to find me. Who am I? You're not looking. You're deciding.
Oh, I love it.
You see what I'm saying? So you begin with, who do I need to become? I ask this question all of the time. Who you are today got you to where you are today. But now the question is, who do I need to become to get me to where I'm going? So you can begin with vision. You can begin with, a lot of people know what their vision is and what they see for themselves. So now what will it take for you to get to that person? What are the characteristics of what it is that you see in your heart? What are the perspectives, the habits, and the behaviors of that which you see? It could be something as simple as wanting to lose weight. Okay, so now you have vision. So what do you need to do in order to position yourself to manifest that which you need to be in order to reach that? But the challenge with people is we have great vision, but we think it's going to happen without us.
Magic.
Yes. Like you're just going to be there one day like,
Magic.
whoa, here I am.
Magic.
You know, no, you have to become, but you have to know what that looks like to get to that place of becoming. And it's it's a process. This is not information gathering.
That's right.
Process. Who are you now? What are your challenges? What are your habits? I mean, really doing a self-analysis about how you're showing up in this moment. Now, what needs to change? Uh-oh, here comes the work.
Oh, gotta do the work. You have to do the work.
You have to do the work. There is no way around it. There's this quote that says, pick your hard. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
You tough.
That's real good right there.
You a tough coach.
You know what I'm saying? You either going to be hard where you are, staying who you are, or you're going to pick the heart of transformation.
Yes.
But the transformation, oh my gosh, that means that your comfort zone now wraps around what you have put on the inside of it. And then you just move from one level of another to get to where you're going. You are moving. You're not stagnant.
Yes.
You're progressing. And that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So how about the person that they kind of understand their purpose, but it's always in their mind an excuse?
Yes. Those are patterns. And so we have to then investigate, where did that come from? Where's the root of that? You know, it could be something as simple as, you know what? I'm always trying to make sure that everything is perfect. There's a root. Remember, we just talked about what is the belief?
What is it?
When in doubt, find the root. Because as you are, right, that's how you think, right? That's how you act. There's a quote from Gandhi that says, my beliefs become my thoughts. My thoughts become my words. My words become my actions.
Yes.
My actions become my habits.
Yes.
And this is the best part. My habits become my destiny.
Yes.
And see, we don't think about the fact that what we said before, 95% of you is on autopilot. You have to retrain the auto so that you can redirect your destiny. It's not just you showing up one day and saying, I want something different.
Yeah.
You have to do the internal work to get what you want.
So it sounds like I hear also a keyword, be intentional.
Huge. Huge. You can't live by accident.
Right.
We have to move from existing to living. My definition of living is making decisions on purpose with my truth. So I am engaged in my life.
Yes.
I make a decision that I am responsible. And this is not negating God by say I take responsibility for my life.
Right.
Really, it's a compliment because that is a part of us showing up in our greatness, taking responsibility. I need to change my thinking. I need to renew how I'm showing up. I need to engage in a different way. I need to inspect my habits and behaviors.
Yes.
And then by being intentional daily.
Intentional.
Daily.
Daily.
Not every now and again, right? Because a lot of times we think, okay, if I do it for 21 days, I'm in the clear. But really, when you hit 21, you know what your brain is saying? Oh, you're trying to do something different. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? So we try to regiment, but every day, being intentional, little bite by little bite, making the changes, knowing you're going to have challenges, knowing it's going to be hard, but you can do it.
In our circles. So a lot of times who we hang around, who we connect with impacts identity, impacts purpose. So what is the difference between having a friend and a purpose partner?
Ooh, that's good. So a friend is somebody that you just see. We have to be intentional about what that even means in our space. Why are they there?
Yes.
Who are they to your life? So let's say, okay, this person is my friend. This is my girlfriend. This is my hangout buddy.
Right.
This is who I laugh and go to dinner with.
Yes.
That does not have to be your purpose partner.
Correct.
Your purpose partner is the person that makes your baby leap.
Ooh,
that
yes.
understands your lived experience, that understands where you're going.
Yes.
She is in agreement with your vision and purpose. Even if she challenges things about it, it's always to move you forward. She's not looking through her lens or his lens at your destiny.
That's right.
They're looking at you for your destiny, and they're there to support that. A lot of times we try to bring our friends into our purpose, and that's not their place because you never define them. You never gave them structure or purpose in your space, right?
Yeah.
And so we try to pull people because we're close to them, we love them, and we don't want to go by ourselves.
Yeah.
So we end up, instead of finding people who are not like us,
That's right.
opening up our circle.
That's right.
Stop being scared of strangers. Stop being scared of people who don't look or act like us. We'll pull our friends in, but our friends aren't going in the trajectory that we're going. They're not even thinking. They don't even have the information to help you elevate and go to another level.
Right.
So then you bring your vision to your girlfriend. Girl, look.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, oh, that's nice.
That's nice. Yeah. Or again, we're talking about this again.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she changes the subject and you're like, wait a minute, I need some hype here.
Right.
I need some, you don't feel that, girl?
Right.
But girl, your purpose part to be like, girl,
let's do it. Yes. Yes.
Go. I got you.
Yes.
Right?
I was like, that is amazing.
It's a totally different perspective because
Totally
she
different
gets
energy.
it.
Yes.
She's like-minded with you in that arena.
That's right.
And she understands what you need to level it up.
That's
but
right.
guess what? Your girlfriend will hype you too.
That's right.
As the girlfriend.
That's right.
In the girlfriend role.
A supporter.
A supporter of you.
That's right.
Right? For your emotions, for your context. But that's different than a purpose partner.
Yes.
So you need to know who these people are and bring them in your life.
And so with those circles, and sometimes I think that's why a lot of people get discouraged on the journey to destiny and purpose, because we expect people to be who they really shouldn't be to us.
Yes. And we have those expectations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even with support, it's a whole world out here.
Yes.
But if our family and our friends don't purchase or they don't feel like they support us, it's like we want to give up.
Yes. And what's funny about that is I tell people all the time, they're purchasing because they love you.
That's right.
Those are not your customers.
Please, let's talk about that. Yes, knowing the target audience.
Yes.
Yes.
They're purchasing because they love you, and they're not gonna purchase no more. I got you, boo. I bought that book, boo.
Yes.
Now it's time to find your target.
That's
right?
it. Because after two
Find
good
your people.
purchases, you have to find someone else.
You have to find your people.
Yeah.
And you have to know that is. Sometimes we have these expectations. And listen, as business people, we have to stop thinking that people owe us something.
Now,
You're
that's
in
good.
business to serve.
Now that's good.
You know what I'm saying? And I see some people online being like, help me out. That's not business. That's a friend. So now you're only going to draw people who are trying to help you out.
Right.
And you wonder why it's not going deeper or leveling up higher.
Right.
Because your perspective of who you are to them.
Right.
You are to serve.
That's right.
And when you serve, then you're doing things that they need, not what you need.
Right.
And so it is coming into a different understanding of business too. That's not their place.
Yes.
That's not their job.
Yes.
And then when you approach it that way, when they purchase from you and you're serving them, then they can be a customer.
Yes.
But there is no type of obligation that they're obligated to do it. Now they're doing it because they need what you have to offer.
Ooh. That's key.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
And so timing, also with the process of becoming, understanding timing.
Yes.
And like you said, understanding process and realizing that I have to start at A.
Yes.
I can't just jump to C.
No, you can't. And this funny thing about timing is where a lot of people get stuck, because for them, sometimes we hold on to things from our past that we should have let go.
Should have let go.
Because it was not purpose, it was opportunity.
Ooh.
And there's a difference, right?
Yes.
So when we understand that our purpose and opportunity are not the same thing, we will be able to let go and move forward in the current timing of where we are in the moment.
Yes.
Because a lot of times as business people, we had a great idea like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
But that 10-year ago idea was an opportunity. It was not purpose. So when you don't know your identity, you can attach yourself to an idea thinking that that's your purpose. And it was just an opportunity.
Wow.
And see, and I think we control timing. I think a lot of times we try to put a lot of timing on God, and I think a lot of it has to do with ignorance. But God is always now. Yes, I do believe that, you can get instructions and you can have, ways of engaging. But when it comes to timing really is about your maturity for what it is that you want. And a lot of times the timing is not being controlled by something outside of you.
Right.
The timing is your maturity to walk in what it is that you want. Right. So you have to ask, am I mature enough for the vision that is in my stomach? for the vision that is in my thoughts. Because if you're not mature enough, then you don't have a path to it until you do what you just said, the process. What is A? We always want to look at okay, I see it. I want to move. I'm ready to jump.
Yeah.
But really, sometimes A has the answer for B. And B has a key for C. But we be like, no, I got to see everything. No, you don't. Because you're mature enough for A.
Yes.
You might not be mature enough for F. So you can't see it even if you wanted to.
Right.
So start with A. What is it that you need to learn? What are the lessons? What are you supposed to be gaining? How are you supposed to be engaging in A?
Yes.
And then when you do that and you mature in A releases what you need for B. And then you continue to move forward to your vision until you see it manifest.
Wow. That's often. That's good. That's good. And so the final thing that I would like for you to touch on today is for the person that may feel that they are stuck.
Okay.
How do you become unstuck and not let life circumstances, as you say, dictate your movement and purpose?
Begin where you are. And you can't get away from growth. Stuck means that I don't have information necessary to move forward. So we begin with knowledge.
Yes.
Where is the knowledge deficit for how you need to shape who you are so that you can move? When knowledge comes, our mindset expands. Our context increases. I talk about this a lot. There's this word that's called phenomenology in psychology, right?
Yeah.
And it's really just the study of lived experience.
Okay.
And so as they were talking about, and the researchers were talking about lived experience, they say that you cannot separate the knowledge that you have gained from the context that you gained it. So you're stuck. You see what I'm in the context of where you are. So until you add information to your life, until you grow, you cannot reposition your context so that you can move from where you are to another position. So you're stuck because there's a lack of information that you can engage to move you to another place. And sometimes it's your refusal to have bigger relationships. It's your refusal to connect to people who challenge you because you want to be comfortable. It's the refusal to move when you know you need to move, to do something different when you know that's what's going to change your life, and staying where you are. So being stuck and getting unstuck is your responsibility. You have to move. Circumstances do not have to change for you to get breakthrough.
I love it.
Yes.
Wow.
It's on us.
Yes.
It's on us to grow.
Yeah. And, everybody has like this trademark of something they're known for. So every time I see you, I hear you say, own it.
Own it. Yeah, you have to own your journey. You got to own your mess.
Yeah.
You got to own the brokenness. You got to own it all. Well, no, Stephanie, somebody else did this to me. But yes, they did it. But now it's your responsibility to move. It's not their responsibility to shift you and move you. It's your responsibility to move. Why? Because now the experience is yours.
Yes.
So what are you going to do? Whether it's coming to counseling, whether, it's getting another breakthrough in another way, you have to own your journey.
Yes.
Good and bad.
Yes.
The longer you stay in denial, the longer you stay in your position.
Yes.
Because again, phenomenology, the lived experience, my context. When I own it, I do something about it.
Gotcha.
When I put it off, I make excuses and I blame everybody else. Everybody else got to move for me to change. But the truth is, no ma'am. You got to move.
That's
and
it.
then everything else changes. Even if the change is your perspective.
That's good. Wow. Okay. So in closing today, because I know we can talk for hours on this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So in closing today, what would be one final thing that you would like to leave with the audience?
Do the work every day. Grow in some type of way, shape, or form. Every day. Don't ever miss an opportunity to grow, to learn, or engage.
Gotcha.
And take the time to give yourself permission. This is to be a priority in your own life. Stop putting you on the back burner. Bring you to the forefront. That's the part of the Me Time movement that I have now. Me Time Daily. Do the work. It means meticulous effort towards identity mastery so that you can evolve.
Wow, I love it.
That's the acronym, right?
Wow.
So you have to pay attention to yourself. You have to give yourself permission to grow and then do the work.
do the work. Okay, awesome. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure
I'm so
being
excited.
with you today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, so for those who want to connect with you, how can they connect with you?
You can connect with me, Stephanie M. Kirkland on Facebook. I'm Woman Behind the Vision on Facebook. IdentityDynamics.net is my web address. And then on Instagram, Stephanie M. Kirkland.
Yeah.
Let's connect.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining us
you.
once
I
again.
appreciate you.
And we will have you back because it's so much more.
I love it. I love it.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And once again, to our wonderful audience, this does conclude our talk today on identity. Stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching. If this content has been helpful for you, don't forget to share it with others and hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified of all upcoming shows. Look forward to seeing you soon.